That'll work.
Well, I was feeling kind of low and mean, running out of gasoline. I didn't have any air in my tires. My spark plug was failing. Carburetor was ailing. Something going wrong with the wires. I wasn't making any headway till I got to Redway. I went on down to Healy, because that's how I was feeling at that time. Pulling over onto the parking lot and getting out, the weather was hot and I was feeling fine. Now I'm making some headway, now that I'm in Redway. That's how I was feeling to myself right about then. I was heading on up the avenue of the giants. That means the big ones, the tall trees, the ones you can see all the way over the coast. Redwood trees higher than your knees, as high as you please, man, they're the most. Even they was heading to Redway, because they needed to make some headway. Every once in a while when I got time to kill, I go visit my friends over in Garberville. That's a nice place to be if you ask me, but it's not Redway. You want to make headway, you got to go to Redway. So I was in my car to turn on the radio, it was pumping in my blood. There was only one station that would come in, and that was K-Mud. Making headway. K-Mud and Redway. Infinite inner space. Infinite exterior space. Infinite space all over the place. Man, the infinity is getting me. I had myself a piece of pie and a cup of coffee, mud and rye was apple and tangerine. A little bit of licorice pizza to follow it up with, if you know what I mean. Coming back in the morning to get myself an omelet of grilled cheese and bologna and whipped cream, so I can be heading off of the highway in a haze of unforgettable Redway dreams. How'd that chorus go? Making headway. Making headway that way in Redway. So whoever wins this presidential elections, well, I know which way I'd like to see it go. And I got the t-shirt to prove it. And I'll show it to you later after the show. But you know, if it doesn't, some of us will survive. And if it does, we'll be better off humming around in the hive, making headway in Redway. And when Andy Caffrey makes his way to the State House in Sacramento, and he's bigger than I am and more important than I am and doesn't talk back to me every time I call him up just to say hello, I can say, remember, Andy, when you're trying to make headway? Oh, that's right, you didn't live in Redway. That's what happened. So it's good to be here every once in a while, maybe even if there are a few years in between. And thanks to everybody that made it all possible for us to do this and me to come here and jump on this spiritual trampoline. Do what we do and do what we don't do, and don't do what we do it if it seems to fit. Spending time with a vegetarian out around the barbecue pit. Making headway with Dr. Space and Redway all over the place. K-Mud. the Healy Center. Come gather round me, hear my sad story. I know you think you've heard someone sing it before me, but it's an old song, I had to change it. Times ain't what they used to be. As I went walking that superhighway below the gray haze and sooted skyway, I was arrested for hitchhiking on the freeway. They said it don't belong to me. No, it ain't my land, and it ain't your land. Could be a rich land, but it's a poor land, 'cause of the few that hold it in their tight grip hand, so that it don't belong to you or me. When I was younger, and in my schooling, I learned and followed by all the rulings. I never dreamed that they were only fooling. So that's how could my teachers lie to me? But as time passed and I grew older, and the world around me got a little colder, well, then a voice came calling at my shoulder, said it don't belong to you or me. No, it ain't my land, and it ain't your land. Could be a rich land, but it's a poor land, 'cause of the few that hold it in their tight grip hand, so that it don't belong to you or me. From the boardrooms of corporations to the back roads of desperate situations, it's a confused and disunited nation, all the way from sea to shining sea. From the urban war zones of the busted streetlights to the toxic wastelands of Nevada sites, from the open strip mines to the clear-cut forests. Oh, it's a sad sight to see. I see the downsides, I see the layoffs, the corporate welfare, politicians' payoffs. I see the breadlines that never make the headlines, 'cause they are not so entertaining on TV. When they can reduce you to just a number, when they can knock you down and they can plow you under, and when the only thing that matters is the dollar, then you know it don't belong to you or me. No, it ain't my land, and it ain't your land. Could be a rich land, but it's a poor land, 'cause of the few that hold it in their tight grip hand, so that it don't belong to you or me. Now there was a time when this song was greater, but that was then, and this is later. And there's a hole in my heart that's like a crater, and they say it's gonna be the death of me. So let's take this song back, let's take this country, take back our future, it's our duty. Let's stand up tall so that everyone can see, then this land will belong to you and me. And it will be your land, and it will be my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land will belong to you and me. One more time. Thank you for coming out. Thank you, Andy Cappy. Thank you, Paul Turner. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, interior, exterior space. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim Page.